On-the-scene coverage of ACC 2015 is supported by Effient.
I'm Peter Block in San Diego at ACC 2015 for On the Scene, and with me is Mike Gibson. Mike is an old friend from the Beth Israel Deaconess in Boston's, my old stamping grounds, and Mike has reported here at the ACC on Bendavia, a reperfusion injury compound. So Mike, tell me very quickly about the study, and then we'll get to the results and maybe some theory as well.
Well, when we open arteries, sadly, we set in motion reperfusion injury. One of the key players in reperfusion injury is the mitochondria, and Bendavia gets into the mitochondria, binds to cardiolipin, and protects the electron transport chain. So we did a study where we had big MIs, anterior MIs, proximal LAD lesions, had to have a closed artery to get in, so you couldn't have reperfused. And we didn't see a reduction in the CK area under the curve with the agent, but we saw a provocative trend, an exploratory analysis for a reduction in heart failure onset and also a lower rise in creatinine. This is important because the drug is also being prospectively tested in heart failure and in renal protection. So this is what we do in phase 2. We explore, we see where the drug works. Seems like its biggest benefit may be in those other two areas.
You know, the whole business of reperfusion injury, Mike, as you know better than I, has been a mixed bag of sort of unfortunate, gee, I wish we could have thought of that earlier, or too bad that didn't work. So what do you think is going to happen to this field?
You have to give the right drug to the right patient at the right time at the right dose. In the past, we failed many of these drugs by giving them after the artery was open or not getting persons to the target dose. So hypothermia, for instance, if you achieve target temperature before you open the artery, there was something there. So you have to achieve your target before you open. And who's going to benefit? It's not going to be the inferior MIs. In terms of the right patient, it's going to be those big anterior MIs.
The problem, as I see it, is that each of the trials that have been done with reperfusion have shown a slight signal. Many of them have. I mean, even the hypothermia ones.
Right.
And yet not enough to say P less than 0.05 that everybody jumps around about. And yet when you tally them all up, you say, gosh, there must be something there. And maybe we could hit a home run with something. The mitochondrium is probably a good way to start looking at that. So going forward, are there other drugs that target the mitochondria as well? And the fact that the heart failure signal is real is sort of exciting, isn't it?
Very exciting. You know, what Bendavia does is not whip the heart like an inotrope. It's really offering a new solution that's a supply-side solution to provide more energy to the heart, which in a failing heart is out of energy. I think GSK does have a molecule, but that is targeted a little more towards the inflammatory side moving forward into phase 3, and I think we're all excited to see what happens there.
Okay, so Bendavia sort of certainly not a bust. Some interesting data that will come out. You'll be doing some further trials with that.
Yes.
A lot of people bet on Bendavia, and so it'll be interesting to see how the later trials come out. And if the heart failure signal ends up being real, that would be a real plus, wouldn't it?
Real plus.
Thanks for being here, Mike.
Thanks, Peter.